Good morning. How's everybody doing there? So this is going to be my last video that I make here in Colombia. It's kind of a summary of what the dentist cost, what are the requirements to fly back to the U.S., and my overall thoughts, right? So, to start with, what does a dentist cost here in Colombia? So, obviously everybody's dental needs are different. I unfortunately had to get a root canal, which I wasn't planning for. So it did eat up quite a bit of time, and so I thought I would share that experience with you, right? So in terms of finding a dentist in Cartagena, I Googled English-speaking dentist, right? My Spanish is okay, it's más o menos, right? But it's nowhere near where I feel comfortable enough to speak with a healthcare provider about specific needs or conditions, right? So I Googled that. I found Dr. Rodriguez. She's a great dentist. At first, you have your apprehensions, right? So she sent me for an X-ray, and that cost 20,000 pesos. So as of today, the U.S. dollar to the Colombian peso is about $1 to 4,000 pesos, right? And no, I've heard people say, why can't I use Mexican pesos here in Colombia, right? This is two different countries, right? Just because it has the word peso in it doesn't mean it's interchangeable, but regardless. So about 20,000 pesos for that, and they give you an actual X-ray. I walked that over to the dentist office, dropped that off. A couple days later, she said, you're going to need a root canal. That's what's causing you the discomfort that you have. So I really wasn't exactly happy to hear that news, but look, it's life, right? That's how it goes. So, like I say, everybody's experiences are different. I can only share with you my experience, right? So in terms of cost, between the cleaning, the root canal, porcelain filling or a crown, and a buildup, right? So it's approximately 450 US, right? Is what I was quoted at, and that's pretty much what the final bill was, right around there, right? So, look, if you were to get that type of work done in the US, especially without insurance, I'm sure you can easily add another zero to that, right? And that's why many people choose to put off dental work for so long, because the cost, at least in the U.S., is high, right? So, after getting the quote, dropping off the X-ray, we set up a time. I went in there, and it's me, and I know that it's hard to numb me, right? I know that from past dental work. So they set up a time, went in there, they put a lot of needles in your gum, right? That's the way it works. And long story short, they just were not able to get me numb enough, right? So this was Saturday. And they're like, this just isn't going to work for us. So they temporarily plugged the hole, and they said, come back tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, which was Sunday, right? So, it's fine. I have all day. So I was like, okay, but surprising, you're going to get a dentist to work on you on a Sunday, right? Especially in the United States. So we go back, they tried some different type of numbing stuff, let's just say that, and it just didn't work. They tried, they kept giving me the cold test, I kept feeling it, so they decided to pull the plug on that, which I felt bad, because, look, it's Sunday, you're getting your stuff all set up, you're doing this 8 o'clock in the morning, and it still doesn't work, right? So she said that the only option is then anesthesia, right? So, but it's kind of like, it's not like you're completely under, it's like you don't feel anything, you're somewhat conscious, not conscious, and you can still respond to commands, right? So, once again, like, what does this cost, right? So as you said, generally it's about an hour, sometimes it can be an hour and 20 minutes, right? The anesthesia is charged by the hour, so it's 300,000 pesos. which, once again, I mean, that's reasonable. You know, you're not going to find an anesthesiologist in the United States that's going to do that procedure, you know, that quality procedure for that kind of compensation, right? So decided to schedule that on a Tuesday, and once again, I was apprehensive, right? A little nervous, but you know, you go in there and you know, they put an IV in your hand, and they started the procedure. Before I knew it, it was over, right? So really good. Went back. They put a temporary crown on there, or a cap, shaped a tooth, and then they fitted the permanent crown on there, right? So overall, really positive experience, right? So I mean, if you're thinking about having dental work done and you're putting it off, I would highly recommend you come here to Cartagena. Come here to Dr. Rodriguez. You know, the communication is excellent. The level of care is excellent. So that's my 2 cents on that. And if you have any questions, you know, please feel free to reach out, comment, and let me know. And I'll be glad to help you, right? So, you know, you can always come here, do a little sightseeing, a little tourism, spend however much time you need to get your teeth fixed here, right? And it'll definitely, the whole entire trip and the medical procedure will probably be cheaper than what you would spend in the U.S., right? Anyway, so moving on to the second topic here is what do you need to fly back to the U.S.? So you need a COVID test that's as of today, and it's the antigen, the rapid test. The United States will accept that. I've heard through the winds that come December that is going to go away, and you're going to need the other test, the PCR. So in terms of cost, I set up a test here through the expat group in Cartagena here. So thank you, Camila. You know, she was helpful. I reached out to her. 180,000 pesos. Healthcare professional came here to my Airbnb, paid that, you know, nasal swab in the nose, which is highly uncomfortable, to say the least. And I got the results about 7 hours later. It was emailed to me. So you need to print that off. You also need to complete the Colombian MIG form. You need that completion to enter the U.S. and also to enter Colombia, right? So whenever you depart Colombia, you need to fill it out. Whenever you're coming here, you need to fill it out. It's not very complicated. They just want some flight information, your passport, all that stuff, and it literally comes back in 2 to 5 minutes. And I would recommend you print that out because the Wi-Fi in the airport is not free. So if you think you can go to the airport, access the free Wi-Fi, and open up your email, it's probably not going to work for you. So print it out. So that's kind of the procedure there. You know, we'll see how things go. Look, I think I'm going to leave the video here. I will say I wanted to, you know, maybe leave you with some departing thoughts about Colombia in case you're thinking about coming here, right? So, you know, when I first came here, it was a little bit of a culture shock, I guess you can say, right? Between the vendors harassing you and the heat and, you know, just not being familiar with things, right? So it's a little bit different than where I'm from, right? So, but slowly you acclimate to things over time, right? You know, are there things that I do miss? I mean, absolutely, right? I tried a German restaurant here with Mike, you know, the beer, A1, fantastic, yes, great. I still don't understand, you know, why does it say, hey, we have Oktoberfest, but you don't have it? It's written in chalk, like on a board, like erase it, right, if you don't have it, and you don't have this, okay. So the German restaurant, you know, schnitzel without sauce, sauerkraut with rye seeds, not really sour, you know, those are the things, right? Sometimes it's a little bit odd, right? But you know, the people here are good, right? I mean, is it a little bit like over touristic? Absolutely, right? So people get annoyed because people come here, speak whatever language they speak, and they don't speak Spanish, and there's that frustration, and right, sure. I mean, you know, it does feel a little bit like Tulum or Playa del Carmen, you know, Puerto Vallarta, other touristy places, right? But generally, for the most part, people here are good, right? They're willing to help you, but you know, have some basic understanding of Spanish, or use Translate. Don't talk to people loudly. Don't talk to people, you know, loud and slow and in English, expecting them to understand you, because that's offensive, right? So use a little common sense with that, right? But you know, as anything, right? So use common sense, right? There's always some story about somebody's out 2 o'clock in the morning, because now the curfew has been pushed from midnight till 2 o'clock in the morning with COVID, and it's always one of those things. You know, someone's like, I was out, you know, 1:45 or 2 o'clock or 2:15, and the police are out there, they're harassing me. Look, you're out there past curfew. You're asking for problems, right? Or if you're out there 1:30 in the morning, you're by yourself, you're half tipsy. Look, this is, you know, it's not a safe situation to put yourself in, right? So, you know, just be cognizant of your surroundings. Have I had any problems since I've been here? No, right? I mean, I will say I struggle sometimes to understand. It's 8:30 in the morning, I just had breakfast, I'm leaving a restaurant, and it happens every single day, right? Some vendor is like, here, you want to buy a hat, you want to buy a bracelet, you want to buy some dominoes, you want some fruit? No. And then it's like a light switch. It goes from like that to, hey, you want some cigars, you want some cigarettes, you want some weed, you want some cocaine. It's 8:30 in the morning. Like, I don't do that stuff anyway, but who's doing that stuff at 8:30 in the morning? If you're doing cocaine at 8:30 in the morning, you let me know, because I'm curious to know who's doing cocaine at 8:30 in the morning. So anyway, you know, I want to thank everybody that's watching these videos, and you know, the channel continues to grow slowly. I know I haven't been making a lot of videos. It's been a little bit challenging, not having like transportation, my own transportation here, and being stuck in one spot. And but thank you for all the support. Thank you for your comments, your feedback. I mean, it really makes the world of difference to me, right? So we're going to go back to the U.S. and the next videos will be probably installing solar panels on the car, have a flooring project going on, and then it's headed out to California. So anyway, thanks for watching, and as always, be safe.